What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 182 of the Idiotic Sports Talk. I'm your host, Liam Gavin, coming to you live from my bedroom. And today I want to give you all the Week 2 picks around the NFL. Week 2 starts in just a couple hours. Last week I was 8-8 on my picks. Not the best, but I was still 500. And, I could do better. I got smoked, though. I started 6-3, and then in the 4 o'clock games, I went 0-5. Wound up 6-8, but my last two picks got me the 8-8 record. So let's start with the Thursday game. We got the Vikings taking on the Eagles. The Vikings haven't looked that good. I know it's only week 1, but their defense isn't there. Their offense isn't there, and a lot of people said this, and I'm starting to believe it. As for the Eagles, they kind of struggled on offense too. They did play a very good Patriots defense, but I think that they have the better players on offense outside of obviously Justin Jefferson for the Vikings. I think the Eagles are probably going to win because they're at home. First home game of the season. The stadium's going to go nuts there in Philly. But of course, since I am biased, I'm a biased Cowboys fan. I got to go with the Vikings. But of course, I don't trust my pick. I don't trust primetime Kirk Cousins. I just don't trust the Vikings at all. Like I said, I'm biased. So 28-24 for the Vikings. On to the Sunday games. Baltimore takes on the Cincinnati Bengals. Evenly matched team. They always split this series back and forth. Even though Baltimore won last week, they didn't look that solid on offense. And Cincinnati was just absolutely atrocious on offense. But this is the game where I think Cincinnati bounces back. I think since they're playing at home, they're going to get the win. I think it's going to be close too. So give me the Bengals to win 24-21. Next, the Seahawks take on the Lions. So the Seahawks were a big disappointment last week, especially in the second half of that game on offense. Their defense just wasn't there at all either. And the Lions, they went on the road and they beat the defending Super Bowl champ Chiefs. So they have a lot of swagger right now. They have a lot of confidence. They're feeling good. So for those reasons, I'm going to pick the Lions. I think they're going to gash apart that Seahawks defense and get the win. So I'm going to go 31-23 in favor of the Lions. Next is the Colts taking on the Texans. So two rookie quarterbacks facing off each other. Anthony Richardson for the Colts, C.J. Stroud for the Texans. This is an AFC South rivalry. I think it's going to be a good game. Even though both teams lost last week, both quarterbacks played pretty well, especially Anthony Richardson. So this game could really go either way. I would definitely tune into this if it was being played in my area. But I'm actually going to go with the Texans because they are at home. I know it really doesn't matter, but these two teams usually split every year. But give me the Texans in a close one. I'm going to go Texans winning 20-16. Next, we have the Bears taking on the Bucs. So the Bears were awful last week against the Packers. Absolutely awful. I like Justin Fields, but he turns the ball over too much. He turns the ball over way too much, and if you do that to the Bucs defense and the Bucs offense gets the ball back, they'll make him pay. Baker Mayfield played pretty good too. So I just like the Bucs in this situation. I just don't trust the Bears enough. So I'm going to take the Bucs to win this one 28-17. Next is the Chiefs taking on the Jaguars. A very good game. In my opinion, should have been flexed to the 8 o'clock primetime game. But this game could go either way. Two stud quarterbacks in Patrick Mahomes and Trevor Lawrence. And I just see it being a very back and forth game. I think the Chiefs are going to bounce back and get the win, especially if they have Travis Kelce. But if they don't have Kelce, the Jags are most likely going to win it. But Kelce just is such a game changer, and I believe he's going to be back. So give me the Chiefs in this spot, 34-30. Next game, Packers versus the Falcons. Going to be a great game. Two young quarterbacks, Jordan Love of the Packers taking on Desmond Ridder of the Falcons. Jordan Love looked really good out there last week. He was throwing the ball with ease, didn't turn it over. As for Desmond Ridder, he didn't turn the ball over, but he didn't really pass that well. But he didn't need to when the run game was doing so well on the ground. So this is a very 50-50 game. Very hard to pick the winner. I'm going to go with Atlanta, though. I believe they'll have the better run game. And I believe it's going to come down to defense and who has the better defense and who can create turnovers. But give me the Falcons to win in this one, 25-22. Next is the Raiders taking on the Bills. Raiders won last week. They didn't look that great at first, but, they still got the win. And they're taking on a Bills team who's probably going to be pissed off that they lost to the Jets in the fashion that they lost. The Bills have something to prove. I think that the Bills handle business 37-14. But, however, if the Bills do lose this game to the Raiders, we got to start questioning the Bills. I would start hitting the panic button. And as for the Raiders, if they win, maybe we'll start to believe in them. Next is the Chargers taking on the Tennessee Titans. Very evenly matched, in my opinion. The Chargers have a great offense, but a terrible defense. and the Titans have a terrible offense, but a really good defense. So it's going to be very, very interesting. I got to take the Chargers in this spot just because I trust Justin Herbert more than I trust Ryan Tannehill. So for those reasons, give me the Chargers. I like the Chargers winning this one 26-21. Next is the Niners taking on the Rams. So this seems to be a good matchup, but the Niners always own the Rams. Kyle Shanahan runs circles around Sean McVay. And the Rams, they did look good last week. They pulled off the upset against Seattle, but this Niners team just looks ferocious. Like, they're probably a big favorite to win the Super Bowl, and I wouldn't disagree with that because of how well-rounded they are. So I do like the Niners in this spot to win 33-20. Next is the Giants taking on the Cardinals. Now, the Giants got blown out by my Cowboys last week. They really need a win. If they don't win this game, I would seriously hit the panic button if I'm the Giants and their fans. They should take care of business, but the Cardinals, their offense was terrible, but it was their defense. They sacked Sam Howell last week 6 times. My Cowboys sacked Daniel Jones 7 times. The Cardinals have a very good pass rush, and if they're able to get home and hit Daniel Jones, it's going to be a long day, and I think that's what they're going to do to win. So give me the Cardinals 20-17. Next is the Jets taking on the Cowboys. Obviously, the Jets got a huge win last week. Aaron Rodgers is done for the season, but Zach Wilson played pretty good. He wasn't great, but he wasn't trash. He did his job, and the Jets' defense is absolutely amazing. It reminds me of my Cowboys' defense, and the special teams, too, for the Jets made plays just like my Cowboys' special teams did. I think it's going to come down to who can move the ball better. I do think the Jets have the better running game, but I believe the Cowboys have better receivers. It's going to be very good. A lot of people are already sleeping on the Jets, but I'm a Cowboys fan. We haven't beaten the Jets since 2007, so trust me, it ain't going to be easy. I got it being a low-scoring game. Give me the Cowboys 14-10. Next game is the Commanders taking on the Denver Broncos. So, Commanders won a close game last week while the Broncos lost a close game. I think this is going to be a bounce-back game for the Broncos because their offense, they didn't move the ball that well, but they didn't turn the ball over like they did last year. As for the Commanders, they were turning the ball over left and right. And against that Broncos defense, I believe Sam Howell is going to give them a couple turnovers. So give me Denver to win this. I like them to win this game 19-16. Next is the Dolphins taking on the Patriots. The Dolphins, they're just scary. I mean, I know they don't have a defense, but their offense could carve up anybody. The Patriots have a good defense, but I just don't believe that they're going to be able to stop Tua and company. I know Belichick is a mastermind. I just don't see how they're going to stop the Dolphins. The Dolphins look very, very fierce, and I see them going on the road, and I see them getting this win 27-17 over the Pats. So we have 2 Monday games for the final games. We have the Saints taking on the Panthers, an NFC South rivalry. It could go either way. I know the Saints won last week. They just held off the Titans, and the Panthers, they had some moments, but they lost to the Falcons. But I believe that this is where the rookie quarterback Bryce Young gets his first win of his career. But he's going against a tough Saints defense. The Saints defense doesn't let you get anything. So if the Saints defense shows up to play, which I believe they will, they'll probably win. I'm not confident in picking the Panthers, but I believe they get it done. I'm going to go Panthers. What's a good score to give this one? I'm going to go 20-13 for the Panthers. Next is the Browns facing the Steelers. So the Browns were fierce last week. They pummeled the Bengals. They looked amazing. Their offense was good. Their defense was good. As for Pittsburgh, nothing was good for them. Their offense and defense got destroyed by the Niners. And the Browns could replicate that. They really could. I don't feel confident, but I am going to pick Pittsburgh just because they always split with the Browns or they sweep the Browns for the season. And it's just one of those things where the Steelers always own the Browns. I know it's a different year, but since they're in Pittsburgh, I think that they'll get the win, and Kenny Pickett and the Steelers offense is going to bounce back, and the Steelers defense is going to show up. But you never know. I mean, this is a very 50-50 game. The Browns could easily stomp the Steelers in this game. But I'm just going to go with the Steelers here. So give me the Steelers. I'm going to go 23-20. So that's it for my picks. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to give you guys the lock of the week. I'm going to go with the Niners over the Rams. And then my upset is the Panthers over the Saints. And that's it for this video. So let me know what you agree or disagree with. I always love feedback. Remember to hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel and then follow me on my Instagram page. Thank you all and enjoy week 2.